What nationality?
I'm
Gael.
Spanish and Hispanic.
Hispanic.
Yeah, so
Nice.
a little bit of a mix, but what are you?
I'm Nigerian.
Nigerian.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's hot over there, isn't it?
Oh, bitch. Can I curse on this podcast?
Yeah,
when it
go
starts?
ahead,
Yeah,
yeah.
like it's hot as
No,
fuck.
this is it.
This shit it's like a hot 5 degrees
And that's
over
just
there.
during summer. I'm
During
like,
the
what does
summer,
a
yeah.
heat wave look like then?
You can probably see the heat waving and be like, hey,
You can
boo,
start
I'm here.
Oh my.
No, but it gets really, really hot. But
Yeah.
again, like I told you guys earlier, I love the heat. So I'm
Yeah, why do you love the heat? Like you just grew up in it, you're like molded by it.
Yeah, because like I grew up in Nigeria and it's always hot. But I think it's just my body. My mom too is the same way. Like she just likes it to be warm, and I'm the same way. Like a little bit of cold. Like I put on the fan, and I'm like, oh, it feels good. And I'm like, oh no,
My
I'm cold
bones
already.
are shivering.
Like, yeah.
That's the thing that I find kind of cool. Kind of like where we grow up, you kind of get used to that climate.
Yeah.
Like people that grew up in like Alaska or like Canada, they're like they cannot handle heat.
No, not
for
at
like the
all.
life of them. But the cold, they're like so resilient to
ooh.
it. That's so cool to me. And then in California, it's like it's hot, but I don't think it's like the worst.
Now
thing in the
it's
world.
really hot though.
Right now,
It's a
yeah.
little bit too hot. I feel like my eyebrows are
Is
always
this,
like
is this like
sweating
Nigeria
off.
weather?
I think worse.
Because it's humid over there, or is it dry?
It's a little bit in between, depending on where you are.
Mm.
So if you're like up more in the north area, then it's like super super hot. Like your skin will be like,
Oh my God.
like a good tan. Like I was in Nigeria. I quarantined in Nigeria for a while.
Oh.
So like I was there for 4 months because I went back to see my parents,
Mm-hmm.
and because I want to be a good kid. And I was saying hi, mom and dad, and then I got stuck there for a good 4 months.
Really?
And yeah, it
Was it scary?
no, that's home for me. Nigeria is beautiful.
What's it like over there?
From like once Nigerians are very bougie, so when they like build their houses, they build those mansions. Like it's like even bigger than the mansions they have in LA. I would say
my
that.
God.
Like we love lavish things. People are very friendly and warm. Like you see people like you be in the grocery store, somebody's trying to fix your hair. Like child, put
me
this up,
fix
fix
that
your
for you.
hair. Like that, trying to take care of someone that's not even their kid. We're very family oriented people.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Compared to here, oh my God.
Oh yeah, everyone just minds their business, like
Yeah.
sips the tea and just like tweets about it, whatever's going on.
Whatever's
like
going on. Did you grow up there?
I did a little bit in between. So I grew up in Belgium, and then I moved from Belgium to Nigeria when I was about like 3 to 7 years old. Then I moved to New York, and then I say New York. I was like New York.
New York.
Moved to New York, and then till 7th grade, and then I moved back to Nigeria for middle school, and then I moved to America to finish off high school, and then I did. Yeah.
Oh my God, you were like all over the
I was
place.
all over the place, boo.
Did you like moving?
Yeah, I loved it because now I have friends from all over the world. Like
That's what I hear from people that move a lot. They're like, now I have friends here, I have friends here, I have friends
like
here.
I'll be in Mexico. Like, what's good? Let me chill.
Yeah,
I'll be, like,
let me
France.
come over real
Hello,
quick.
bonjour. Let's hang out. Because a lot of my friends moved around too, like especially Nigerians, because they move around a lot. We love just being exposed to like different cultures too. So literally whenever Christmas time, I went to Dubai, and I had a friend who lived there, so I stayed at her house for like a day or two and everything. So.
That kind of changed my perspective on moving, because I used to be like terrified of moving everywhere. Like I just thought it was like so scary, like new people, new friends, like what are you gonna do? But then like I see everyone saying like, oh no, now I just have friends everywhere. It kind of makes it seem like now I want to move, I want to move
especially
places.
with social media too.
Yeah,
right?
you make friends all the time, and it's so much easier, I think, just to communicate and make friends with people.
Like all your friends from all you guys in the podcast, did you guys meet from school? Or
We
did you
met
guys
from
meet
school.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
so
cool.
we all like knew each other and stuff, and we were like friends and came together. But I like that. I think, I don't know. Do you like traveling a lot? You do, because you guys.
I love traveling. I miss traveling so much.
Oh my! How many countries or places have you been?
Let me see. I mean, I've been to France, especially because of like TikTok. I make a friend wherever I travel to. Like when I went to France, before I went to France, I hit up, I looked up all the like different TikTokers in France, and then I found this girl. Her name is Nohair. And I hit her up. I was like, hey, I'm coming to France. I would love to, I'm coming to Paris. I would love to like collab with you guys. She's like, oh, we, sure, come. And then we made like a ton of videos with her and her boyfriend, and all of them like they went super viral. And it was just like, it just makes you feel like because of being a creator, you're not limited to just being in one place. Like creativity expands all over the world. So wherever you are, and I feel like the creative space, people are more like open to just collaborating, because that's like the
Getting
best.
together.
Yeah, getting
oh my
together.
God, that's so
like,
amazing.
yeah.
Like I would love to do that. It's kind of scary though, because I feel like no one wants to collaborate unless you have like a big following.
That's like,
weird.
I hate that. Like it's so stupid to me when it comes to collaborating. If you have, I look at talent. If you got talent and you have like some type of skill to offer, I'm like, heck yeah, let's collaborate. Like, I try not to look at numbers because, okay, you might have like 1 million followers on like Instagram or TikTok, whatever, but you might not have
like
your content
too.
is just like, you probably have a shitty attitude, you know?
Yeah.
So like I collaborate with these magicians, who are just, it's completely, because I make comedy skits, so it's completely different than my content. But with magic, putting that into my comedy skit is like super cool. So I don't care. Like, I don't know why people are so wrapped up in numbers.
They're very stingy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I'd love meeting people and just like hang out with them because it's such a new experience. Like, different personalities, and I kind of been doing it recently. That's like, you just meet new people and they're like it's a whole nother personality, a whole nother like vibe and stuff compared to like the people you usually go with. So
exactly,
makes it really fun to like meet people. But I don't know, LA gets like, everyone's so fake here, and they're like, no one wants to make friends, and then you ask someone, you want to like hang out, they're like, oh. I don't know, maybe you have a few more followers, you know?
Yeah, that's how the culture is now, and especially you know what I also think is, so let's put this together, right? LA, most people when you see people in LA, most people are not from LA, right?
No.
Right?
No.
So
gentrified.
Right, very gentrified. Like, look at us. Everyone, take your asses home. But when you think about it, we all moved from a different place. But when we come here, everyone tells you, oh, LA people are so fake. Oh my God, they're all so fake. They only want one thing. But is it really the LA people, or is it just the people coming in, and then our minds are just being brainwashed that everyone is fake, so we got to just watch out, and we just automatically assume everyone we talk to is fake, so we just don't trust people.
Exactly.
That might
steamroll. It's steamrolls. It's I don't know. It's a bad mentality to break, but I think coming in here, especially with influencers, you meet them, and like everyone's telling each other they're so fake. So like you said, like you just kind of like, you have it in your back of your mind, like, oh, maybe this is what they mean by they're fake. Maybe like, I'm falling into
and then you just have automatic trust issues.
Yeah, and like people are so nice too. Like you can never tell. They're like the sweetest girl, and then afterwards they're kind of like bitchy.
Oh yeah. Luckily, I mean, first, I just think it's God, it's my mom's prayers, it made my prayers, but people I've surrounded myself with and I've met in LA have always ended up being like genuine good people. It might just be my mind for like having a good judge of character.
You think you attract good people if you're a good person?
Oh, 100%. 100%. People are attracted to good energy, you know? But you also attract some negative people because they want to feed off that energy.
Oh.
You know? So it's also like kind of you to think like, for you to notice, okay, this person's a bad person, but just because they're a bad person, I should keep them at an arm's distance, but doesn't mean I should just push them away completely because they're going to like give me that negative energy. How about like you bring some of that positivity into their life?
Change them.
Try to change.
That's cool.
You know try to change them a bit, you know?
I don't know. I think maybe with good, you get like this aura. It's so crazy how you can just kind of like feel something like kind of, it's like maybe they're being a little cold. And like they could be like the nicest girl, but you feel it, which is kind of crazy how that is, right? Like, you feel their aura, their energy.
Oh yeah, you can just tell sometimes when people are just being fake.
Like it's crazy too, because like right off the bat, like first 3-4 seconds, like first 2 words they say, you're like, oh.
She one of those. Oh, he's one of those. Oh yeah. You know, you just smell them from.
I know. Like your energy, honestly, I love it. Like you're so friendly and like, oh my God.
Thank you. I'm just Drea, man. It's just me. Like,
just you being yourself.
Like I can't be nothing more. If I try to, like, that's the thing about. Again, off being your authentic self. Like I tell people, you just got to be you. Like, because when you try to be someone else, it's so much work. Life is already enough work on its own. Like, why are you gonna try to be someone you're not?
Faking your whole personality.
Like, you not see how much Hannah Montana struggled to keep that
double.
Yeah, like come on, shoot, just have the best of your world. You don't need the best of both worlds, honestly. Like, you know.
Oh my God, maybe that's where they got it from. Trying to copy her. Look at the effect of her.
Just be yourself and like.
Yeah.
Whew, man, that's all. On my podcast, I have a podcast.
Oh yeah, you do have a podcast.
It's called Do It For The Content #4. So do it for the content.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go the route of, because there's a lot of people who do these podcasts of like giving content creator like tips, social media tips.
But they're not a content creator.
They're not. It's like, where you come from, boy? Like, sit down. Like you ain't never even posted a video in your life.
Followers on Instagram.
You know?
How to grow to 100,000. Like, why are you not there?
Honestly, period.
Yeah.
And like, so that's why I wanted to come from. Like, it's me. Like, I'm speaking from my experience, and like I try to keep it real because I don't want it to be so like all scripted and perfect or whatever, because I hate that. Again, it's authenticity.
I hate scripts. Oh my God,
I hate that. I'm trying to like just go with the flow and just just give people the knowledge that they need. Because I think you said it earlier, there's so many people becoming creators, you know, especially moving to LA to become creators. So it's like, you know.
It happens all the time. And like also, what was I going to say? I think, especially in podcasts and stuff in general, when we do guests, like something that I realized is like, oh shoot, we've only ever had like white people on the podcast. And I was like, damn, how did that happen? And it's, you know, the thing that
get
sucks.
Called out for that one day. I'm just kidding.
And it's because all the top creators are white. And I was like, I like it hit me and I was like, oh dude, like if you go like almost all the top creators like white. And I was like, if literally if you're not conscious about that, like you would just get so caught up that you'll realize you've never had like a Hispanic person or like a black person or an Asian person. And that's why like when they were like, oh, you want to have Drea on? I was like, oh, that's perfect. Like, yes, I would love to talk to her. Because I think you have to make an active effort, you know, to like.
To be that's the thing. Like that statement, all the top creators are white. And what's crazy is that I think it's just because of the minority creators are huge, but in their communities,
in their little communities,
and it's the ones that become mainstream are just the white ones,
probably whitewashed,
all the ones that see, or the whitewashed ones, you know, and I hope that all 2020 is going to help make that shift. Is that I
hope so.
It doesn't matter if you're black, white, it's Indian, Korean, Chinese, whatever the fuck you are. If you got the talent, let's make sure you are seen as one of the top creators.
I think there's just so many issues. I think one of them is that people are kind of weirded out or intimidated by cultures, like different cultures. They see it, and like especially as a white person, you see like someone that's Nigerian or someone that's Hispanic, and they got like these weird foods you've never heard of, this weird accent, and you're kind of like, oh, I don't know.
You know what?
Uncomfortable.
You know what it is? Because you can't relate to that. You people can relate more to what they're used to. So when someone who's like white and watches a video of someone doing like cornrows or like eating tamales or something,
to, like your like Hispanic mom humor if you're not Hispanic, you know. And I think that's the struggle.
Yes, but what's changing now, I think, is that people are trying to embrace that more and educate, like just learn about it. Want to
experience it.
Just want to learn about it. And that's why I think I love most about Gen Z is that like Gen Z just loves researching about what they're not sure of, you know, versus like other generations, we just gonna go about what we were told, and that's true. You know, like,
but like back to authenticity and stuff. Have you ever got hate for like being who you are and just being so honest and open with yourself?
Have I ever gotten hate for being honest and open with myself?
Some people don't like that. They feel intimidated by it.
Yeah, I haven't really. I'm trying to think of the only time, because I do a lot of like this accent challenges on TikTok, and some of it went viral. The first couple ones I did went viral on Twitter. And, you know, when things go viral, when TikToks go viral on Twitter's a whole different type of world. That's like, you know,
it's a lot tougher.
Yeah, especially depending on what community it enters in. So the reason why I do accent challenges is because I love to show off my Nigerian culture. I love to show people like, you know, everyone with the different cultures talk differently. So I'll have like me sitting down saying certain words, and maybe like someone from Korea saying different words, and someone from Australia. Right. And I remember the first couple ones I did, I kind of emphasized on some of the words and made it, and the person I was sitting next to was a Caucasian, she was not Caucasian, well, she was from Australia, but obviously her skin was white. Yeah. So it kind of made it seem like, oh, are Nigerians uneducated and not pronouncing things correctly? So I was getting hate from my Nigerians because I made a scene with the way I was pronouncing the words I chose made the Nigerian accent sound like it's not saying it correctly compared to like how the Australians pronounce it, which is still almost the same as English American pronunciation.
So they were like, wait, so they were just clowning you or like hating you because they thought your accent was you just not being able to speak properly?
Yeah, they were just telling me that's not how Nigerians talk. That's what they're telling. My Nigerians were telling me like that's not how Nigerians can pronounce it correctly. That's basically what they were trying to tell me. And what I learned from that experience was, whenever I'm doing accent challenges, make sure that both accents are pronouncing the words completely different than how Americans say it. Because that's the point of the accent challenge, to show that we speak differently in different cultures, but doesn't mean that any culture pronounces it incorrectly.
The correct way.
Yeah. So the way my community that was coming from me was like, yes, I'll be my authentic self. I was trying to show the Nigerian accent, but came off as a negative way that Nigerians don't speak correctly, which is we are one of the most educated communities out there. To be honest, So that's the only time I really got hate for being my authentic self. I don't know if that's like really answers your question.
Yeah, no, that is. Yeah, but it's kind of like, dang. Do you think that kind of like hurt to see almost like your own community and your own people,
because I would never want to make my culture look bad, that hurt me a lot. I try, so whenever I do get hate, I don't look at the comments. Like my friend sent me, she's like, girl, you get dragged on Twitter. I said, you getting dragged on my Jesus. Okay, I looked at one and I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna enter this. So I just took that one I saw and I was like, how can I reflect on this better? Like, how can I make sure that the next accent challenges I do, make sure that Nigerians are put in a positive light, which I have taken that correction, of course. But, that's the thing. It did hurt, of course, but, just that's the thing. If you're being yourself, you're going to get hate. If you're not being yourself, you're going to get hate. You're going to get hate regardless.
Do you get a lot of hate?
Not that I see. I try not.
You don't try. I don't try.
No, I don't see it. So if I'm looking through my comments and I already see something saying, "Oh, this black blah blah blah," or this giraffe looking, or I just delete. I don't even finish reading the sentence. I just delete. I don't need that. I don't need time for it. Yeah, because that's just the thing. So that's why, like, that I get that question often, like, how do you deal with hate? I'm like, I guess I'm being a wuss and I'm just like running away from it.
That is a proper way to deal with it. Probably the healthiest way. Because I mean, why would you need to see that? Like, it's not even like criticism that they're trying to like help you. It's just straight up like being an ass over it.
Exactly.
So it doesn't make sense.
And you also just got to realize that those people are just probably sad and bored at home or whatever. Because I know how this is true. Because I'll confess, like back in the day when I was very young, when I was like 11, bored at home on my desktop, I used to go like in this group chats and just like troll. And I don't know if you remember like AOL back in the day. And I used to just go into this group chats and just like troll people like, haha, you're stupid. Ha, you guys are dumb. So like I know what it is to be this young and just being behind a keyboard and just being bored. So some of these things, you're not saying it because you mean it. You're just saying it because
see what happens.
See what happens.
I like to think like as a kid, you're kind of curious. Like, what happens if I like tell someone something mean? You know, they're gonna respond to it. Oh my god!
But also kind of like I'm just curious to know, like, how do you be able to differentiate when it's criticism, like a radical candor, so like a tough feedback versus hate. You know?
Oh yeah, I think it's easy to tell. I think if someone's like, honestly, like, this was just not it. You didn't do this because of this, and maybe you should try to do this. That's like, it might hurt, and you'd be like, kind of your ego gets in the way. You're kind of like, she's wrong. I don't think that's not what I meant. So you kind of have to take like an honest step back and really be like, okay, is there maybe some truth to it? Because it hurts to like, willfully admit you're wrong. But if it's literally just like, that was stupid, that was just dumb, like, don't do that. That wasn't even entertaining. Then it's like, oh well. Yeah,
then that's just a hater.
Yeah, because like when people say it's not entertaining, because it depends. That's not like an objective. You can't objectively find something funny. It's like very, it depends on the person. So that's how I think you kind of differentiate the meaning behind it.
That's true.
But it's tough to like put your ego aside for a lot of things. And like when saying your own opinions and when trying to like talk to people about your beliefs, people don't want to like admit they're wrong ever, which makes things really complicated. But how have you like been dealing recently? Because I know like it's been tough being like, especially a Black woman in America. And did you do the accent challenges while everything was going on?
I didn't. So especially like, I think it was like April when the protests for the Black Lives Matter started. I was in Nigeria, so it was kind of harder for me to really wrap myself behind everything that was going on, because I didn't know what was true. I was just going off what I was seeing on social media, because like, of course the media is going to amplify certain things that might not need to be amplified and put down things that need to be amplified. So I was trying to make sure that I keep myself educated on, from everything that's going on currently through my friends, asking them like, are you going to a protest? How's it going on? How's it out there? Are you staying safe and everything? It just felt very weird. Still till now, and like it just feels like bad things are all the injustice, but the things the conversations that are happening need to be happening. I like that a lot, because it's kind of like, for example, the conversation about like sex in a household. I'm sorry, like you say your family's from
Mexico.
Mexico, yeah, my Nigerian culture family. We don't talk about like anything like that, like sex and kissing boyfriends, whatever.
Okay.
Like we don't talk about that in the household. So those conversations about like race, social injustice are not typically talked about in the home.
Really,
but need to be. I mean, come on. Let's be real. In a dinner table, unless your family comes from a family who's very woke. That's not a typical dinner conversation.
What are your racial biases?
Exactly.
No, it definitely does not come up.
But now it definitely is coming up more because even like
it'd be
the
weird
young
to
ones,
ignore it.
It'd be weird to ignore it, especially as a parent too. You have to be informed. Like you have to, keep yourself. So if your kid is asking you like, what does this mean? I'm seeing this on social media. Why is it that someone that's black is more likely to get abused than someone who is Caucasian or something? Like those kind of, when you're getting asked those kind of questions by people, you need to be educated enough to be able to inform, respond to it, exactly. So, I mean, as a black woman now, I feel like more than ever it's more important now to use my platform, to like, I'm always trying to share as much, I'm not saying I'm the most educated person, but I'm always trying to educate my audience about what I know, and I'm educating myself as well too. Because again, my background, I grew up. You heard where I grew up from, all over the world, so I'm not as informed when it comes to the history of America. So I'm constantly like trying to keep myself informed.
Yeah, there's a lot to catch up on.
There's just a whole lot, okay? Because damn well, when they was teaching us in school in social studies, it's not the real history.
Yeah.
So it's like,
where did you spend most of your like high school life?
High school was like middle, so 7th grade to 9th grade in Nigeria, 10th grade to 12th grade in America, and then elementary school was in New York, America.
So did you experience, like, were you able to see like the difference in how they teach history?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, based off, because Nigeria, we're learning about Nigerian history, so we don't hear much about American history. And then I come to America, we're learning about like Christopher Columbus and Native Americans and all that jazz.
The hero complex.
Actually, history and social studies was my least favorite subject.
Really?
I hated it.
Why?
I don't know, because it's like, I guess it should be interesting because it's storytelling, but it was just, I like math. I like math and like science and stuff like that, That's what because I ended up majoring in engineering, so like, that was like my realm.
You enjoyed engineering?
Oh yeah. I graduated from Penn State. When I first moved to California, I worked for an engineer for 2 years, and then I went off to USC for grad school.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dude, is engineering like, oh my god, isn't it so hard? Was it difficult? Was it ever difficult? You're just natural at like.
I think it's just if you like it, then you'll get through it. It's all a mental thing. Like when they tell like girls are so bad at math, but it's like we're not. Like it's just because people are telling us it, so we're just scared going in. Same way how people say everyone in LA is fake. It's like not everyone in LA is fake. There are good people out there. Same thing with math and science. Like it might require you to read a little bit more, but doesn't mean you can't do it if you are willing to do it. Put in the work,
Wow. There's like not a lot of women in engineering.
Nah.
Were you like, did that ever like stop you or like, you kind of think about like, oh, that kind of sucks. I wish there were more. Did it affect you in any way?
Oh, I mean, I remember I told my dad I want to be an engineer. He was like, oh, you're too pretty to be an engineer. I'm like, what? Oh my gosh, I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to be a bad bitch and with a degree, engineering degree. And that's on period.
Those are like, that's the best. I love that comment so much. I think it's so cool. Like when someone looks like a very stereotypical way and that people like have these stereotypes about you but then they're like super educated and like have a full degree. I'm like, that is the coolest thing, honestly, because it's such like a fuck you to like everyone that has these stereotypes. Like I see like cholos like in like LA culture like rocking like a bald head, tattoos, like look super like hard and like gangster or whatever, but they have like they're like a hospital worker, they're like a surgeon, exactly, and I'm like, yes, exactly,
breaking that stereotype. What would you like to be in the future?
Honestly, I would love to be an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship is like,
you're already working towards it.
Yeah, dude, I love it. So
you could, I mean, if you decide, you don't need to go to college for it, but if you decide you want to get that degree, you can major in entrepreneurship. Like, so what would be like your business?
Honestly, that's the big question.
Oh my god, don't you hate that question?
Yeah,
like,
I do hate it.
What do you want to be in the future? Like,
oh my god,
shut up. Let's live in the moment.
How are you gonna do it? Have you thought about it?
Right.
I don't know. And especially like being an entrepreneur, college counselor, so I was like, so what are you gonna do? What's your company? Yeah. I'm like, well, I'll figure that out once I think of it. But
I think the podcast alone, like you guys starting that, coming together and starting it, That's already like
You
that's
can make a business out of anything.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
whew, man, that's all. So on my podcast, I have a podcast.
Oh yeah, you do have a podcast.
And I literally just give tips to aspiring content creators, tips that I wish I knew before I started like becoming a creator. You know, like from how to like make yourself, because you're a brand, you're a business. You know, how to make money, how to reach out to brands and pitch yourself. Things you should know before starting, because for some reason everyone thinks I need to have the best camera equipment to start. Bitch, use your iPhone. If you don't have an iPhone, borrow your friend's iPhone. Like, you know, so like I do those things on that podcast because as a creator, because that's the route that you guys, like, we are entrepreneurs.
Yeah,
we are our own self, our business.
You like, entrepreneurship could be anything. Like, you could use your engineering degree to somehow start something, and then now you're an entrepreneur with an engineering degree. It could be anything all the time. That's why like I love it so much, because it's just so free and you can do whatever you come up with. Anyways, what were we on? What were we talking about before? I don't remember.
I don't know. Well, we can start a new topic. Whatever.
What's on your mind? How have you been?
Aww.
When's the last time you cried?
Not as oh. So I'm an emotional. I'm a very emotional person. Mm-hmm. I'm an Aries, so I mean Aries is tough, but when we're emotional, we emotional. Especially when you guys are all guys here, but when I'm on my female time, my emotions. The last time I cried was yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
What was it about?
It was more deeper stuff. Let's see. It wasn't like the biggest deal ever, but it was over conversations I had with my boyfriend, and I just cried because it's because the distance. We're doing long distance, and it's hard.
Where's he from?
You know, he's in Nigeria. It's hard. Okay, yeah. So I cried because I missed him. So it wasn't like I didn't even cry on the phone with him. I cried after we got off the phone, because we were on the phone for like 2-3 hours, and it was like a really good conversation. So I was like, oh,
she's not here.
I know. That's all. I wish.
That's the worst. That silence after a phone call.
Yeah, you know.
That's the hardest part about ending it, because you know, like, you end it and it's just quiet again.
I know. I just want to be on the phone with him forever. You know, I just want to be with him. Like, I want to be with him forever in reality, but I can't. So it's like, I can't physically be with him like right now. So after the phone call ended, I was like, I was like on my bed. I was like crying. I teared up a bit.
That's
and I was like,
cute.
You know what? Let me just go make some food. And I made some food. I ate some food. I made myself a little margarita, and I was drinking. I'm like, this is good. I'll fine again.
No, long distance seems so tough. I don't know if I could ever like do that. How do you do it? How do you go through that?
It's new to me. We've been doing distance for like since January. Mm-hmm. So like it's communication.
Right.
And just like, I think everyone always says like planning for times to see each other next is always best. But now it's a little bit harder because of the pandemic.
You can't do much about that.
You can't do much planning to travel. You can't do much planning. Like, so it's a little bit harder, but we're just lots of prayer and lots of talking together. And just,
what about that like just being with them together? Because like, you know, physical touch and like just having their presence there.
I know. Luckily, like love languages though is like, have you ever learned
what are your love languages?
Love language is quality time and words of affirmation.
Oh.
So words of affirmation can be done over the phone. I just need a couple, but I don't like too much words of affirmation. Like, oh my God, I love you so much. I don't need too much of that, because then it's not as sweet as when you get it every once in a while.
Up or like give you a paragraph or just be like, oh yeah.
I think a paragraph is nice, but not a paragraph. Don't give me a paragraph every day, because then I'm like, okay, another paragraph when I wake up in the morning. Like, oh, okay, dang, I gotta read all this shit. Like it becomes meaningless. So I like it when it's every once in a while. And quality time, which is harder to do from the phone, but I guess on the phone call, like, or even like texting, like, yeah. So that's my love language.
Mine
you know
like
what your love language?
Physical touch and quality time.
Quality, yeah.
Those are my favorite. What do you think about quality time though?
Quality time for me is just spending undivided time together. So full attention to each other. Like when I was in Nigeria with him, we would just be in the living room, the TV on. We might not even be talking, but we're just like sitting down next to each other.
Doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Kind of connected in that way.
Connected. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Yeah, I'm not going to cry. Oh, God. No, I would never cry. Oh, I cry. No. Yeah, but yeah, that's like quality time is definitely like even dates too, like going on dates or just walks together. Anything like that is quality time to me. Just as long as we're just both fully attentive to one another.
Just being with them. That's the best, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you a positive person? Like, are you very, very positive, optimistic? Or are you neutral?
I'm definitely a positive person. I'm all about like from just trying to stay positive when things go wrong, putting out positive affirmations, speaking things into existence. I'm a big believer in like words of affirmation. That's why my love language is words of affirmation. Oh, That's why I love language words of affirmation, because I'm a big words of affirmation person. Like I have this shirt that I made called Speak It into Distance. So it's like ellipse and then has the word Speak It into Distance. You can buy it on DreaKnowsBest.com. But yeah, no plug. But I did it. I've always been the type of person to just like claim it. Like when I applied to USC for grad school, me and my roommates and I, we were like, oh, girl, you already got in. I was telling everybody, I'm going to USC for grad school in the fall. Like I was telling people before I already got in. Just like, just speaking things out to the universe and praying about it and working hard to see it come through. So I'm a very positive person.
Are you very like spiritual energies, like speaking into existence type of
I mean, I'm a mixture of both. More like religion. So I'm working in I'm a Christian, so I'm trying to build my relationship with God. I always talk to my man G.O.D. I'm like, yo, son was good. I mean, God was good. Like, how's it going? I'm trying to be best friends with God. That's really my mission. I'm trying to be that. So I'm working on my religion with that. But I believe in putting things out there, even if you're not a Christian, even if you're the universe, but just saying things out there to and just believing in
like
it.
Manifesting
what you want, because everything's all in the mind, yo. Like if you look in the mirror every day and be like, I'm a piece of shit,
you're gonna believe
you're a piece of shit. If you look in the mirror every day and you're like, you a baddie, you are strong, you're smart, you're gonna conquer that dang whatever project you're working on. You're just gonna believe it's a mindset thing. And when people, and that's kind of thing, like I believe my background too, like my parents have always been a type of way. They've always like just told me, you're Nigerian. Nigerians are very successful people. You will be successful. Like that's like so that thing has always been just in me, like just having that positive, speaking it out loud and just
like your mind is so powerful. Like people really get caught up with like self-deprecating humor, and they like take it too far because they started to believe it because they don't counteract that with enough positive affirmation on their own time if they don't want to do it in public, right? Like if you keep saying like, I'm so annoying, I'm pretty sure I'm annoying to everyone, like I'm pretty sure
God, I know people like that, and I'm so sorry, y'all annoy the heck out of me. Like the first 2 times you do the joke is like ha 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 ha, the second time ha ha ha, the third time is like, shut up! Like, sit down. Do you want to talk about it? Like, because I hate people that like fish for me to tell them you're not annoying. Stop.
No,
like, those people. I don't like people like that. I have a friend who's like that, and sometimes I'm just like, they're one of the people that I always check on, like, how you doing? Because I know they do that a lot just because they have self-conscious issues, and it's okay because everybody gets self-conscious every now and then. But when you're always just fishing for those things, then you just have to figure out, okay, why am I always putting myself down? What's going on? Like, Drea, why are you always telling yourself you're annoying? Why are you saying those things out loud? What's going on inside?
You catch yourself.
Like deep. I've always doing self-reflection. That's one thing that I've started doing. Like I put the mirror. I have this mirror I put in front of myself. I did it twice so far. I put the mirror in front of myself and I'm talking to myself. Okay, Drea, you want to accomplish this with social media. Okay, how are you going to do this? What do you like doing? Like, I just literally just have a therapy session with myself. That's cool. And I have my journal and I write down, okay, you love entertaining people. You love inspiring people. Okay, how can you merge that thing together in your content? And I deep dive and go down with it.
That's cool, actually.
Thank you.
Wow.
Try that out.
No, it's important. And like, I don't know. There's also like, because it's interesting because your thing is words of affirmation. So you like, you want them to like reaffirm you and tell you, oh, you're still pretty. You're so pretty. You're confident. You're okay. You're not annoying. Do you think that's what they're trying to get? Like words of affirmation? Or do you think it's like, there's like a balance in you being self-deprecating, or you just like, just appreciating and wanting the affirmation? I think
they're looking for those words of affirmation. Like when they always do those self-deprecating humor, they're looking for those words of affirmation for people to remind them that you're great, you're awesome. Oh, what? But the things that will never fulfill you. That will never fulfill you. If you can't look within yourself and just love yourself for all your flaws, even though maybe in reality you are annoying, but love yourself because you're annoying. Fuck it. Like, you're just that annoying person. It's amazing. We need annoying people in the world. We need people to fill those categories. So until you accept those things that you continue like, laughing about, no matter, You can be in the stadium, a million people tell you, you're not ugly, you're not annoying, you're not stupid.
You're like,
but
thank you. And then you go backstage and be like, I think I was annoying right there.
Exactly.
It's like putting like a Band-Aid on like a huge bleeding wound and trying to be like, oh, it's helping.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a big issue with our generation. That's the downside of Gen Z is a lot of self-deprecating humor and just love putting ourselves down. And
do you think that comes a lot from just the content that they consume? Because a lot of the content out there are self-deprecating things, and a lot of the jokes too, like, I'm trash.
Yeah,
you know?
Almost all the jokes and like popular YouTubers have some sort of self-deprecating humor. It's like the popular thing. And I think it's just like people are sad for a lot of reasons, whether it's technology, things going on in the world, we're more connected, we see everything, so we get sad. And then we get sad, so we start having self-esteem issues maybe.
Yeah.
And then because there's influencers that their job is to have people relate to them, they kind of either understand that or feel the same way, and they're like, I'm sad, I hate myself. And everyone else that's also feeling that way, kind of they get attracted to them. And then other influencers that don't even use self-deprecating humor, they're like, I guess that's what I need to do to relate to people. And they start doing it, and then their impact reaches more people. And it's like this huge cycle of everyone being self-deprecating because that's what's popular. But some people fall into the trap of actually believing it.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. That's what I think.
That is, you hit that with, there was a nail right here. You said, I am a hammer, I'm a hammer it. That was spot on. That's exactly it.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly it. And that's kind of, that's really sad, but it's unfortunate. It's not nice that people have to use that kind of humor, create that kind of content to be relatable.
Yeah.
You know, because like you said, a lot of people, this generation, a lot of people are sad, especially this year, you know, and people can relate to that versus I am happy and positive all the time. Yeah. Oh my God. Like no one can relate to that. So I might as well make content and people can relate.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's like, oh shit, what was I going to say?
Yeah. No.
I don't know. I think it's like, there's also the people use the excuse like, oh, it's a coping mechanism. And like, I think sometimes people overestimate how many things could be a coping mechanism because they like, oh, I love like killing people in my free time. Oh, it's a coping mechanism though because it allows me to express my frustration, you know? Like obviously an extreme like terrible example, but you get like the point people really get too caught up in what a coping mechanism can be.
Yeah.
And I think people think that being self-deprecating is a coping mechanism, which it can be, but to a certain extent. I think if you use it too often at the wrong situations, then it's just weird. You gotta believe it. And I think people don't realize that being self-deprecating doesn't mean you can't also tell yourself that you're pretty and stuff.
Exactly. I feel like I kind of get, it's inside of me because what's on my mind now is like, what are the people who are just doing it just to do it and are actually just happy and they're okay with the way they look, the way they act, everything. But then their audience are actually like sad and depressed because of how they are, but they're feeding into their content thinking, oh, I can relate to this influencer because they're sad. But in reality, this influencer is not sad. Like, it's happy. Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah. So it's like this whole like issue. And honestly, like I used to like almost think like, wow, maybe I should start like using more of that humor since like people love that. And then I was like, because I never used to do it. I'm never like, oh yeah, I'm like, I don't really use self-deprecating humor often. It comes out sometimes, but you know, for the most part, I'm not that type of person. I'm like kind of the opposite. I'm like, I have like this cocky attitude that I think is funny. Like people are like, oh, you're gonna fail. I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna fail. Oh, obviously, yeah, I'm so hot, amazing. I know that. You know, it's like this weird, like cocky and annoying humor, but just being overconfident. Yeah. I think maybe that's kind of like part of the reason why I do have a lot of confidence. But I think I kind of realized like, oh, I shouldn't be doing that because first of all, it's not me, and second of all, I would much rather have a different output that I give my audience. But I think more creators need to maybe start doing that. And even if, because I would encourage their audience too to do that. Because again, as like being happy all the time. Obviously.
Yeah, I think it's just keeping it real, and it's also like for them to start realizing that it's not always a good thing to have that kind of keep on making fun of yourself, putting yourself down. You know, just again dissect why is that reason I keep on putting myself down. I'm just a strong believer in, man, even if you feeling bad about something, just say it out loud and it'll be okay. The more you say it, you believe it. The more you believe it, oh my God, it's probably so corny. The more you're able to achieve it. Oh my God.
wow, right.
That is corny as heck. The more you say you believe it, the more you believe you're able to achieve it. Oh gosh.
God.
But that's for me. Like that's everything I
does
do.
work,
I
though.
believe when I started like when I applied to grad school, like I told you, I said it out, I'm already in there. I'm gonna accomplish. This is something I do every New Year, right? Before midnight, I write down all my goals for the year. Write down all my goals, and I pray over it. And then 12 a.m., I continue my life. But every time I wrote down those things, and when I write it down, I say it out loud before as midnight is the crossover, right? And I went back to the list halfway through the year, like in June. And a lot of those things have been accomplished. Because, as I'm writing it down, I'm genuinely believing I'm going to achieve these things. I'm going to achieve these things. And I'm manifesting for myself. And it's not just writing it down and, okay, it's going to happen. But you got to work. I've been working hard on it. So I'm a strong believer in manifestation. So I would never, not to say I never have those self-deprecating humor. Because I have a video I'm going to post soon. I think tomorrow that has self-deprecating humor in it.
Yeah, it's normal. It's fine.
But it's not like that's the first one in a long time. I'm not going to overuse that. But now thank you for that. Because now I'm even more thinking like I never thought that people, use that in a way to grabbing followers.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was a thing.
That's what's trendy.
Dang. What else is trendy?
Oh my God. Too many things that are like not healthy.
Oh God.
Yeah.
You tell me some of those because I'm actually quite interested. I mean, I do know what's trendy, but like
in our generation.
Yeah, exactly.
What's
like
going on? Yeah.
God help us.
Oh man. Well, thank you so much, Drea, for coming on.
On that note,
what else is trending? Let us know. Anyways, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Where can people follow you, by the way?
You guys can find me on TikTok, Drea Knows Best. You can find me on Instagram, Drea_knows best. Or you can just go to DreaKnowsBest.com and you find everything about me.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. There it is.